Welcome to SEB Equities. Today in the studio we have the CEO Sonny Mirborn of Alcadon Group. Sonny, welcome to SEB.
Thank you, Nicklas.
My first question is looking back at Q2 results just released. You had a very nice growth of 15% organically, and you had some negative operating leverage, both in terms of gross margin attrition as well as SG&A expenses. Could you give us a brief overview of the driving forces in the quarter and perhaps look a little bit ahead into the second half, please?
Sure. Well, as you said, we're quite satisfied with the 15% organic growth. I mean, we have, as we told you before, we have launched several internal growth initiatives in each market, and they're starting to pay off, basically. Wonderful to see that. We are seeing the markets picking up a little bit, and our growth initiatives and our focus is starting to pay off. But a large share of the OPEX increase that we have seen is due to these focus areas. We have hired a lot of people to ensure that we can maintain high growth rate going forward. And of course, that costs a lot of money. What we did not expect, however, was the gross margin hit that we endured during the quarter. That was basically due to the increased pricing, logistical costs, of course, and the exchange rate hit. I mean, we took a loss of 3.5 million SEK, I think, of just unrealized gains due to the exchange rate. So it hit us a lot. But looking at how it looks in our industry, what we have shown historically, we are able to move these price increases forward. Sometimes with a lot of customers, it takes 1 to 3 months. With some customers, it can take 6 months. And with a few of them, it can take 12 months. So it takes some time. But I think we've shown historically that we are able to do this. So gradually, we're going to see a gross margin pickup, definitely.
Great. My second question is in about a year's time ago, in mid-2021, you announced several frame agreements, including with prominent customers like MTEL and Deutsche Glasfaser. Could you give us a brief update on how perhaps orders and deliveries are proceeding at this time and what we should expect going into next year, please?
Sure. Well, you can say, first of all, sales have started. That's the main thing. During the quarter we have a handful of millions going out to Deutsche Glasfaser and MTEL deals. So we're extremely happy about that, but it has taken a lot of time, which have been quite frustrating, partly due to the pandemic, partly due to organizational changes within at least Deutsche Glasfaser. So it has been a tough time for us. The main thing was that we need to see that the agreements are being honored, that we are following the gradual steps that we were supposed to see during the agreements, and now that have finally started. So over the next 6 to 12 months, we're going to see a gradual pickup where we start these deliveries for real. So that feels good, of course.
Excellent. Also, right before Q2 results, you have just announced a rather big acquisition of UK's network center. Could you give a brief overview of NWC and perhaps some feeling for the outlook for next year as well, please?
Of course. This is, of course, as you can see, quite a transformative acquisition for us. We are entering one of the most interesting growth markets globally today in the UK. We are getting momentum in the Netherlands, where they also have operations. So for us, it's just excellent. 75 brilliant individuals, a very strong position in what we call commercial property segments, basically cabling, but also a lot of focus on the data center segment, where they are growing quite rapidly. But the last 10 years, they have also shown that in the FTTH segment, Network Center is one of the winners in the market. And that was important for us as well, since we wanted some exposure to that market segment. But very interesting market segment. And this company looks very, very similar to Alcadon. We have working with them for 6 or 7 years, where they have been a small supplier to our Danish operations. So we knew them quite well. We were recommended by several mutual suppliers, actually, that you should take a look at this company because they are very similar culturally and strategically like Alcadon. So we are looking forward to this a lot. And I mean, today it's almost 43 million pounds in turnover, 3.6 million in EBITDA. And we think we can expect quite a significant growth the coming years in that company, for sure.
Very interesting. Final question in the studio today. I just want to ask you if there's some specific company or corporate actions being planned, such as capital markets days or further M&A activity.
Yeah, we have planned a capital markets day on September 29th. Looking forward to that. We have the group management, a couple of other key individuals talking about Alcadon, who we are, our targets over a business cycle, but also our targets for 2025. I think that's going to be very interesting for those who wants to get to know us better for sure. Otherwise, we're continuing to doing what we always do. We try to find suitable acquisitions. We have our organic growth agenda, just digging our heels into the market.
Sounds very exciting. Sonny, thank you so much for being here in the studio today.
Thank you, Nicklas.
And thank you for watching.